Hello. Hi. So let's finally just make the video, go ahead with it. So yeah, whenever people see me, I understand that you see, like, it just is not normal. It defies the general, usual beauty standards. And there are some people who just like appreciate my willingness, my ability to just be myself. And that's taken quite a bit to get here. So let's just address the elephant in the room, or like, yeah, let's go ahead with it. Okay. So I was in a bike wreck when I was 6 years old. Yeah, I was 6 years old when I was in a bike wreck. And yeah, that was the whole thing. And then I had a chipped tooth. And it's kind of funny, like, at this point, I had a fake tooth that ended up chipping my tooth, and that's why I just don't wear mine. So, anyway, let's get to the story. I'm just going to explain it to you, and I don't want to edit. I'm just going to try to make a video and just go ahead and put it out there. Finally, just say what I need to say, and that's just that. Because I got a comment about it. I'm sure this is something that people say. Like, this is something that people think of and all that. And I don't usually get to hear people's opinions. I don't usually get to hear what people think, and I really don't care. Like, I mean, I don't want to know. I don't need to know, because, like, what? That's, I mean, in America, let's see, it's not that easy to go to the dentist. Okay. So anyway, let's get to it. I was 6 years old when I was in a bike wreck, and it chipped my tooth, and then I was a cheerleader and all that stuff after that at a point. But this is like, I say that, and I lived my life still, but I kind of almost didn't embrace, but like I was used to it. People call me Chippy, and that, like, I don't even remember the ages. I don't remember anything about it. I'm sure it had great effect. I was kind of surprised when people just called me by my name instead of calling me Chippy. Like, people actually respected me as a being instead of calling me Chippy. Like, little kids are like, there's something. You, like, what? Like, why? I mean, I always just embrace things. I always just embraced, like, yes, of course. Like, I am that, but what are you gonna do? Like, I mean, a kid, what is a kid gonna do? A kid can't take themselves to the dentist. So what are you gonna do? And I didn't get it fixed until middle school. Until I was around here, probably. I don't really remember. I think I was in middle school. Because I was a cheerleader, and you need to do like you really animate it. And yeah. So that, like, I didn't really show forth what I could do fully in the movements, yes, because I was good at what I did. Like, I've always been good at anything I put my mind to. And yeah, but there's an effect that is had whenever you go through these things, even if you kind of try to embrace it like it's something that you deal with. Like, I tried not to show my mouth. That was something I did as a kid. Like, I was 6 years old until middle school. Like, that's some major years, and that's something that I had to go through, like, always. And that has quite an effect. And yeah, and then I got my tooth fixed, and it's still, like, if something's there, like, I have, just choose not to care. I don't really care. I had something. It was a fake tooth that was a little bit longer, and it didn't get, like, down to the normal size. It didn't look like it belonged actually in my mouth. But it's okay. Yeah, this is something that's it's interesting how this has kind of flown in my life, the things it's been, too, the way it aligns. But anyway, so I had that. I don't really remember middle school. Like, I was with my mom part of the time, and I appreciate that. Like, that allowed me to really explore myself, because the makeup part, all that part, I got to really learn who I was. And some of that came from, like, a freedom that I had, and I appreciate that. Like, I was allowed to be myself throughout my my whole, like, honestly, I was allowed to be myself throughout until I was an adult. And even still, I've chosen to be myself. But anyway, my tooth, though, it broke when I was pregnant with my third child, I could feel like the back, but there was no insurance after a point. And then this is something like my ex-husband, he thought it was gross. Like, he didn't like me to talk about it. He didn't like me to, like, the whole thing about my tooth. Like, he didn't like it. So I just didn't do anything about it when I was 21. Like, I could have, or before I turned 21, I could have went to the dentist, but I let his whole thing like hold me back. And that doesn't make sense because I could have just fixed the thing at that point. But it's okay. Yeah, I went and just kept living life. I was very confident, like, you know, I am that girl. I just, like, I embraced it. And yeah, even with that, some people, like, I have confidence in myself. Like, now I'm a tired mom, so there's that, but still, like, I am fully confident in who I am inside and out. So I don't really care anymore when it comes to this. So I had my third child when my tooth broke, and that is interesting. But so yeah, and then I've had a fake tooth and I ended up losing it. That wasn't the right kind. Like, it wasn't the right thing. She broke it. Like, her head butted it, and then it just disappeared. So I was able to live a time with that, and then I started getting used to just not having it. Like, when I was at home, I would, like, any time I didn't feel really like I needed to put it in, I just did it. Like, it was a flipper. What was, like, why? It didn't look like an actual real tooth, and, like, I was just being comfortable. Like, I can't eat with it, so when I'm at home, I just don't. And then, like, my sister-in-law and stuff, I appreciate that, because, like, they just didn't care. They didn't really notice it, and that's something that I was insecure about and kind of worried about, but they just didn't notice it. So why would I do that? And sometimes when I had to go to the store, I just would try not to. I just wouldn't try to talk or anything. I just, yeah, I just existed, and why would I keep something in my mouth? And then after I lost it, I swallowed it or something, and then I just went a time without, like, I just had to deal with not having a tooth. And, you know, that, like, I watch who I talk. Like, I just don't open my mouth. Like, that was the whole thing. Like, I had to exist, and, like, what is it? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, it's just that you kind of have to just deal with it. I wasn't comfortable. That was my biggest insecurity until recently, because now I don't care anymore. Like, I don't think about it. Honestly, I don't think about it. I mean, whenever I'm eating, of course, but generally, like, I don't think about, like, I am aware at this point. This is something that's very recent too, because they're, like, being around new people, it's like, what are you thinking? What are you, like, you know, I had a roommate that stayed with me, and she, like, I know she has felt about appearances, and that got to me a little bit, honestly. Like, you know, it even though it had nothing to do with me, she didn't say anything about me, it played off of my own insecurity. And I let that affect me at times, if I'm being completely honest. This is something that I've generally just had to work through, and I didn't know how she thought or felt. So, like, I was just comfortable most of the time, but then at times my anxiety would stop me from, like, being able to, like, interact with people. Like, and then people I'm used to, people around me, like, in the neighborhood, I've been around them for years, so it's like, I don't care. I really don't care. I don't think about, or, like, whatever, like, I just deal with it. Because, like, what? Like, why would I want to wear a fake tooth? Because it does break your other tooth. That ended up happening. And then I got with the girl. Like, this is to be completely honest, I've been one of those people that has looked through phones, because this came from, like, in the past, every time I looked through a phone, there'd be something to find. And then I got a feeling, I guess, with her, and then, you know, I don't know. Pretty sure, I don't know, I've released that. I've released doing that, because that's not something, like, I don't want to even have to do that. I want to be able to trust you and know how you feel about everything. Like, just lay it all on the table and just have trust. So I don't want to have to do that. But I'll just be honest, that I did that. And then I saw that she was joking with, or talking to her friend about my tooth from my TikToks. And this is something that I would watch my TikToks and try to avoid. Like, I didn't post at all. I didn't speak on camera, because this is something I should be doing. Like, I am that girl. I am the makeup. Like, people have wanted to see me. And at this point, like, I became myself, like, actually myself. And I have learned lessons and I'm actually a grown person, who still is like a little, I don't know, I'm just still myself. I'm still a very unique individual, who just loves people. Like, I've learned the lessons, because there's things where this has came up, like with an ex that I had, which is funny because he's the one that I had a child with, the third child where it broke. So funny how that worked out. But I'm one who breaks the cycles, because that child is like very accepting of everyone. But whenever I was with him, I wasn't so accepting. I didn't understand. Like, I was just a jerk. I just didn't like him. We were not meant to be together. And I just, I had these like judgy kind of attitudes. So whenever he had issues with his teeth, I was just like, I thought about appearances too. But that came from other people's things. Like, that's not how I would usually think or feel, because honestly, people are people. This is something, like, I guess as it was fixed, and like as I've been around other people who think about the beauty standards and how that comes off, I have intaked that. And then, like, she came along, was like, actually, like, I was pregnant with her. I don't think it was her, but I learned that lesson, and I learned how to build myself up since then, because like COVID happened, and then I just stopped wearing it, and then it did chip my tooth. So like, and then I don't know, my neighbors, I think they help, because it's kind of like the people I know, my best friend, like those people, the people that have said just like, it's you, like, it's just what it is. And then the fact that I do get over it and I do speak up, like, cause who really cares what anyone thinks? Honestly, like, this is something that happened when I was 6 years old, and wearing a fake tooth messed up the other one, and then depression and like all of that stuff, genes, like once you start, like once it messes up, it's gonna keep doing it. So, and then dental, like all of the things, like there's a whole lot of factors to it, and it's been my whole thing to just stop caring. Like, I care about my general health, but honestly, like, I kind of want a gold tooth. Like, I want to honor these teeth whenever they are fixed. Or like, I don't really care about it anymore, because it's my thing. Like, I don't care, because anyone that has an issue with it, they don't actually matter. Like, anyone that accepts me for who I am, like, that's good. I don't want someone to think about it or care about, like, if you're in public with me and I'm talking, because what am I gonna do? Like, I don't want to have to hide it all the time. Really, I really don't want to have to hide it at all. I don't really, like, if I get dressed up and do like my thing, I tend to put a fake tooth in. But honestly, why? Because there's new people that have made me feel better too, like those different, like the oddballs, like the ones that are weird, and they're the ones that you understand, or those the ones that understand things. Like, they embrace the odd things, they embrace the like unique stuff, and I embrace that. So there's someone at a vintage shop that, like, I've said something about it. I just opened up about it being my biggest insecurity, and she was like, I don't know the pronouns, but they were just like, they love that I embrace it, they love that I do it, and it's like, yeah. So it's a whole thing, and I appreciate my ability to embrace myself, and it's a whole thing that I didn't have. Like, I was 6 years old, I lost control. I was a child. I lost control of the bike, and yeah, I've just stopped letting it have effect. I have just spoken on camera, and I stopped caring about people judging. Like, I mean, because why? I am cute. Like, yes, I get it. Like, that's against the usual beauty standards, but like, something when I was 6 years old and I learned that, like, I've even been told, like, it's a cute thing, and then I am. Like, I'm a little cutie. I mean, I might be an adult, but I get it. Like, I appreciate my face. I appreciate myself. I don't care. Why should I care? Because, I mean, if you don't like it, then go. Like, okay. If you don't like anything about me, then you don't have to be here. And that's okay. I mean, if you want to learn from me, something like that, that's cool. But if you have a problem with me, like, okay, maybe you should just not be here. Not be here watching me. And, yeah. And if that gets me not viewed, like, if no one wants to see my videos because that, okay. Like, I doubt that's the issue. It's mostly just people that don't want to. They might be curious of it because it's something different. Like, I don't care. Like, honestly, I have I could just be like, I just did that. I don't know if that's okay. It should be because I have a shirt. But I have my nipples pierced. And I never wear a bra because why should I do that? And that's something that people talk about too. But I don't really care what people talk about because it has literally nothing. Like, it's not weird unless you make it weird. It's not like, you know, I breastfed. And that's completely normal. That's actually natural. And that's, like, there's a whole lot of things. I mean, yeah, I could go on and on, really. But my point, you know, let's address it. And I still have full confidence because even with this, I am a cutie. Like, I appreciate. I know my eyes keep, because I look at myself, I use my camera, and I'm just outside in the rain. And just thought I would go ahead and speak it. Because that, yeah. And I just thought I would address it because I was supposed to make a video about this. And I just allow my thoughts to come out as they do. That's really what my whole thing is. Just allowing the thoughts to come out as they do, and it's going to come out however it's going to come out. There may be structure somewhere in there. We'll figure it out. Well, I love you. If you have viewed me this far, I am so very grateful for that. I'm so very grateful for all of you. Thank you.